Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Prabhat, and today we are having orientation session for GS Advanced program. We will begin with brief introduction of everyone, right? You can tell me your name, your education background, the prelims or mains you have written, your optional subjects, and later we will talk about other things. Let's begin with the introductions first. Okay, Anthro, great. So how was your mains? Decent. Yes. Hmm. Okay. Great. What is your optional? Geology. Okay. Okay. Great. Anthro is your optional. Okay. Once. Okay. 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 Yes. Hmm. Okay. Great. Yes. Okay. Great. So basically, the agenda for today's orientation will be that we will discuss what are the gaps that can be there in your mains program, in your mains preparation, right? And the difficulties that you might have faced in your preparation specific to mains examination. And we will also discuss something about the program or how can you benefit from it, right? So the board. Great. I would like to understand few challenges that you have faced, people especially who have given mains this year. What were the challenges that you faced, especially in the general studies part of your preparation? Right. So consolidation, other challenges, basically notes and kind of short notes. Other challenges. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. Right. Great. So basically, it will come under short notes only. Other challenges, and you can also tell me challenges that you are facing in the preparation. No need that you have given the mains examination. Hmm. Okay. Right. Yeah. Other challenges. Somebody. Any other challenges? Time management. Nobody faced the challenges in revision. How many of you have faced the challenges in revision? Right. So, what I particularly feel that ultimately revision becomes the one of the foremost challenges when you are appearing in the mains examination, right? So, we will talk in detail about these challenges. what I would like to basically tell you that whenever you are preparing for mains examination, so what are the mistakes that people do, right? Let's say you are a fresh aspirant, you have just started your preparation, you have not given mains as of now. So the first mistake that many aspirants do is that they think that the preparation for prelims and mains are different. It is not an integrated preparation, right? So this is the first level of mistake that we are doing, that we are differentiating too much into prelims and mains. And what happens by that, that some people become really good at clearing prelims. I know some people who have cleared like 6 prelims straight and have not cleared 6 mains straight, right? Actually, this is not a very different preparation. It is a very much integrated preparation, right? If I have to say, then if this is the preparation, then this is prelims somewhere. It is not here. It is inside. So mains and prelims are integrated. This is first level of mistake that many aspirants do in their preparation. And what happens is there are a lot of gaps. When we are appearing in mains, and sometimes when we have given the mains, after that we realize what are the gaps in our preparation, right? So especially people who are not yet given mains, this is a very good time to learn from the mistakes that other people have already done. And you ensure that you are not doing it when you are appearing or preparing for the mains examination, right? What is the first level of gap? So let's say today your results of prelims are out and you are in the list. It's a good day, a happy day, right? But believe me, that happiness doesn't last for many days or sometimes for many hours. As soon as you know that you're going to appear for mains, after maybe 1 or 2 hours, you will feel overwhelmed because many times we have not consolidated the syllabus itself. If you will see the main syllabus, it is a very comprehensive syllabus. And many times we have cleared prelims, but we do not have coverage of our mains syllabus at all. This is the one and most fundamental issue in the mains preparation, that then people think that, okay, they would be able to cover that thing post prelims. Some people may do. I'm not saying that it is impossible, but we should not take that risk. The topics, the syllabus, coverage and consolidation should be there before prelims itself. You cannot risk it for post prelims. Now, second gap that is there is notes gap. Many a times we read a lot of things. We have read multiple books, right? We have gone through notes, but we do not have what is required. We do not have content on the term that is given in the syllabus, right? Because this is something that you would require for your mains preparation on the day that you know you're going to give mains, because that will give you the confidence. So second thing, at second level, let's say some people have covered the syllabus, they have given reading to a lot of resources, but they do not have notes. Because going from here to there is a very, it is a long process. It requires hard work. It is not as simple as that, that you have read something and you have attended something and just you are making specific notes out of it. It does not happen that way. It requires a lot of hard work from your side, lot of consistency, lot of focus from your side, right? So this is gap number 2, right? Now where the third level of gap is coming? The third level of gap that is coming, and it is the revision. I'll come on the later part also, but that is combined with it, the revision gap. Let's say you have covered the syllabus and you have some notes, not all, because having all notes is a very ideal scenario. Nearly many people do not have all notes, right? Note making, also you can take seat. Note making is also a process that goes on. Value addition is a process that will go on till you are preparing for mains examination. Now this thing, you have given the coverage, you have some notes, but the last time that you revised that note, what? 2 to 3 months back. So now when you are going to see it as, what's the name? Abhi. So Abhi has said that bulky notes were there. Now as you will see those bulky notes, your confidence crisis will come, because you will not be confident ki how I would be able to consolidate it, how I would be able to internalize it, right? So that crisis will come at this point. Revision is ultimately tied to the quality of notes you are having. Revision is not tied to the breadth of resources you are covering. You can cover n number of resources, that is not required, but you won't be able to ever revise it. You can only consolidate when you have some structured notes out of it. You know what needs to be revised. Then only you would be able to put your energy into revision. Then only you would be able to revise that same material multiple number of times to get, command over it, to internalize it, so that you can utilize that material in the actual examination. So this is a big gap. And this gap happens many times because we do not think revision is that important when we are in the preparation cycle. It is a human nature. We are always looking for something new, or we are always looking to just complete things rather than completing it rightly. Completing it rightly means that whatever you are doing, you must do it in that way. You must devise a strategy that your command over those topics, your command over that content is increasing. It means that you are able to internalize that. If any question is coming from that theme, you are able to answer that. But if we will not give due importance to revision, what will happen? You can keep on covering things, and when the easy question will come. What is the issue with GS3? This year, how was GS3 paper? Moderate, easy, usual. So for the last 5 to 6 years, people are feeling that GS3 paper comes on the usual lines and the marks come on unusual lines, right? So this is something that is true with General Studies paper 3, that when you will give paper, you will feel, okay, these are the normal things. Question on inclusive growth, question on land reforms. Not out-of-box question. Everybody knows the content. But still you will see marks 80s, 70s, sometimes 90s. What is the issue that is happening? Why people are not getting marks in GS3 paper? In UPSC preparation, one thing that we overlook is that whenever the easy question is coming, it is very difficult to get good marks in that question. Easy question or moderate question should always be a red flag. Because when the easy question is coming, you should be prepared with a very good content on that. A very relevant content, a content that has some kind of value addition that is actually catering to the demand of the question. For example, like question is coming on inclusive growth. Now for a person who has prepared this for mains examination, making definition for inclusive growth is not a tough task. If you will brainstorm for 2 minutes, you will come up with a definition for inclusive growth. Now, X person is writing definition made by him or herself during the examination. Y person is writing UNDP's definition, right? Or Niti Aayog's definition and quantifying it with some standard data. The examiner, as soon as examiner will see both copies, from the introduction it will be clear who is going to get better marks. Because writing inclusive growth definition is not a big task. Anyone can write it. And that is what is happening. When people are giving GS3 paper, they feel that their paper has gone good. But marks are not good. Because we are not writing standardized content. We have not prepared to that level that we are able to quote things. We are able to write what is standard rather than making these things up by ourselves. Right? This is something, the revision. Because if you do not have that definition in your notes, obviously you are not going to revise it. So all these things are basically connected. Revision cannot happen until and unless you have notes. Notes you can't make until and unless you have proper coverage of the syllabus. Now let's see the other gaps. How many people feel that these are some of the gaps that they have faced in their preparation? You can raise your hands. Right? Almost everyone is facing this challenge. Now, next and very important thing. It means if you are in the GCEP program, this is the thing that may actually take your preparation to the next level. And that is the gap in practice. When I've said that people do not even remember inclusive growth definition, it is because they might not have written a question on inclusive growth itself. Because if you have written 2 to 3 questions on the same theme, and if you have taken actually the proper feedback for it, then your own mindset about that theme will improve a lot. You will get yourself a clarity. What is required to be written, what is not required to be written, where is my preparation level, what I need to improve in that. What is the science of improvement? Right? In ECO also we teach or we learn this concept that improvements can happen in 2 ways. One is wholesale improvements, overnight. It is like shock therapy, right? For example, introducing the capitalism in a socialist country or a communist country. It is a shock therapy treatment. It is changes being done overnight. And then second kind of improvement is a piecemeal approach. When you are doing improvements over a long period of time, when you are focusing on the micro parts. So if you want to get very good marks in mains, it cannot happen in, let's say, 10 or 20 days. You will have to actually focus on all the themes that are there in the syllabus. You will have to go micro. You will have to understand all the keywords that are there. You will have to make sure that you have, first of all, gone through. Second level, you have some good notes. Third level, you have consolidation of those notes. Fourth level, you are practicing questions on those themes. Now, when we see practice. So truthfully, please tell me, those people who have given mains, how many mock tests they have given? for GS? 8. 4. 8. Any other? Let's say people who are preparing, how many questions do you write on weekly basis or monthly basis or daily basis? What is your frequency of doing practice? How much practice do you do? Is anybody writing 2 questions daily, at least? Or 6 days a week? You are writing? You are writing. What is your name? Manish. And yours? Aparna. So Manish and Aparna, for how many months you have been able to write this? Okay. 4 or 5 months you are writing it. Then that is a very good thing, because maintaining this level of sincerity is required, basically. Right? Even writing for 2 questions by your own for 4 or 5 months require huge level of commitment from your side, huge level of sincerity from your side. Now, let me talk about something about practice part. In the GSAP program also, you're going to get daily assignments, the questions on the themes that are going to be covered, right? But what I would like to tell you here is, let's say these are the 2 graphs. This is the time. This is improvement. Now, if you are not doing practice, let's say you are not writing answers, you're just attending the classes, you're making notes, but you're too lazy to write answers. Why we don't write answers? 2, 3 reasons. 1, we fear answer writing. 2, we judge ourselves too harshly. We think that what would happen if I write a bad answer, right? 3, we are outright lazy. We do not want to write. We are procrastinators, like we want to procrastinate things. So these 2, 3 reasons are only there. But what I would like to tell you is that if you are not practicing, maybe let's say your level is here, it will remain here and it will decline over a period of time. Because no matter how much you revise, if you have not practiced, you won't be able to retain that content in your mind for a very long time. Let's say the person is this. The present level is very low, but the person is doing good amount of practice. Now, this person's level will also not rise quickly. It will not happen in 1 or 2 months. But suddenly you will see, after a point of time, after a threshold is reached, a phenomenal improvement in performance. So this is why regular practice is very important and very difficult in this preparation. One thing that every one of you might be missing is continuity. If you decide to do one thing, then doing it for a long period of time. This is something that many aspirants are missing in this preparation, and that is something that we want to address through this program. We want you to not just attend classes, we want you to actually attempt questions also. Because whatever you are learning, it is very important you attempt questions on that, right? Practice is very, very important. Now somebody has told me, sir, we do not have 1-pager notes. Now this is, answer writing is a very good way of making 1-pager notes or 2-pager notes on any particular theme. Let's say you have attempted a question on artificial intelligence. Now, when you attempted that question, you are not very much confident. But if you make 1 or 2 pages of notes, taking some content from your notes, from your actual notes, some content from the model answers, then you would be actually be able to consolidate at least that theme into 1 or 2 page. So theme-wise notes, short notes, you also make them over a long period of time. And it happens that way only. If you will try to make short notes like a mission, I will make short notes for every topic in the mains examination, then what will happen? You won't be able to do it. You will get overwhelmed, right? But if you make this a habit that, okay, whatever questions I am attempting, if I am not very confident about it, I'll make a short note on that, right? Even if I have to write the content again from my copy, then only you would be able to prepare. And this thing will help you because these are the themes in which you are already not feeling confident. It means that when we are trying to make short note, we will have to actually see what is the priority. We should not make short notes on everything because that time is not available for us. Time is also limited, right? Now practice. Practice is basically qualified with feedback. This is also one of the major lags of the mains preparation. Let's say anybody have written 8 papers, but honestly saying, sometimes it happens that you do not take good feedback of all 8 papers. Because it is the issue of our schooling system. In schools or in colleges, we are made to feel very good when the exams are over. I mean, the objective was to sit in the exam and write it down. Because there was never a feedback mechanism in school and college, like the one we require in the civil services preparation. In schools, it was just like you gave your test and okay, you will get a report card. In college, you gave your test, you will receive a semester mark sheet. There was never a need for any kind of feedback because you are not improvement only for those people who have failed. So they will sit again. But now here, you will face the same themes again and again. You have written an answer on the particular theme, it might come in the mains examination, right? Now what happens? Feedback. Feedback in itself is a very long exercise. Feedback is not just looking at model answer. Feedback is not just looking at your evaluated copy or on the comments of evaluator, right? First point of feedback is a self-feedback. Mentor-based feedback is also very important, but first point is self-feedback because you know what kind of answer you have written. Because when you are writing answer, it comes from the inside where you are lacking in content or lacking in the basically addressing the demand of the question. What is very important is if you are spending 2 hours into writing test, then spend at least 3 hours into taking feedback. Spend always more time into taking feedback of paper or questions than the time you are taking into writing it. Make it a thumb rule. And you should not only do value addition, but also sometimes try to rewrite at least 30 to 40% of the questions. Rewriting is very underrated. Nobody rewrites, or very few people are rewriting because it is tough. Writing the question again is a tough task. It is not that easy task, right? But when you are rewriting again, you would be actually able to reflect the value addition into your mains answers. It will improve or increase your confidence about that theme. That, okay, I had written this quality of question. Now, when I have written the answer again, I am able to reflect what are the things that I added in my notes. Because people who have given the mains, you write what is there entrenched in your subconscious mind, actually in the mains. You do not have time for too much brainstorming. You write what comes into your mind, and what comes into your mind is what you have practiced earlier, or what you have thought earlier, or what you have revised earlier. So that is why it is very important sometimes to attempt the question one more time. Or if you do not have the time to attempt, then make it a habit of making some kind of short structure. Right? The body part. Okay, in body part, I'll add this many dimensions also. In the challenges part, I'll add this argument also. I'll redefine my conclusion like this. Or I will add the quote of this thinker into the introduction. Such kind of short structure should be there with you for the themes. Right? So, feedback is very important. In the program also, you will get dedicated mentorship support. You would be able to regularly get in touch with mentor. But again, I'm telling you, mentor feedback is a very good thing, but it will begin with self-feedback. Because if you are not taking self-feedback, you will never go to mentor also. Because you won't find the need to improve. People who are doing self-feedback only, they will go to mentor. Right? So these are the things that you need to keep in mind about your mains preparation. Mains preparation is not that tough if it is structured. If you are sincere enough to follow something over 3 to 4 months of time. I know people who have cleared mains last year also, who were part of earlier GSAP program, and they were quite sure that whatever notes they had, they were able to completely rely on those notes and able to write good quality answers in the mains exam. Right? Now we have discussed this gaps in mains preparation thing. Any questions? Anyone? About any strategy related doubt for mains? Yes. Hmm. Okay. Right. How many attempts have you given? 3 prelims. My personal experience is 2 to 3 months before the prelims, do not write anything. Right? At that time, you need to completely focus on the prelims part. I mean, post January, switch your mode to prelims only. Some people may suggest you that, okay, it's not read optionals in Fab, right? So it will be a disaster for prelims preparation. I never suggest my students to read optionals or write extensively during prelims focused months. That is a very unique thing about this preparation, because here in this preparation there is a right time to do everything. So presently, in the time frame we are in, this is the frame for mains, completely mains, right? Now about the revision thing also that I talked to you in the gaps part, I want all of you to basically learn what active recall is, right? Revision can be done in many ways. What generally all of us do is passive kind of revision that has been taught to us during schools, that has been taught to us during colleges. And passive revision is what? Let's say these are your notes, right? And you start reading from front page, flip your pages and go to the last page. This is passive revision technique. What is active revision technique? Active revision technique is that before even thinking of revising something, you first assess yourself. How much you actually remember and what are the things you're forgetting. Now, what is the way of assessing yourself? Tell me. You can attempt some questions. If you are not reading that topic for the first time, you can obviously attempt some questions on that. When you will write questions, you will get a clear idea about what are the things that you are able to remember and what are the things that you are not able. Then focus your energy more on the things that you are not able to remember. This technique will work both in mains as well as in prelims, right? It will work greatly in mains because active recall improves your actual recall capability. And recall capability will be a very, very important parameter for completing your paper on time and for writing good quality answers, right? Now about the GSEP program. You will have, there are 3-4 components in it. Number one, you're going to have classes, 4 hours of classes, right? And the classes will be conducted around 5 to 6 days in a week. You will get your exact schedule on mail ID. Now these classes, the content building classes, this will help you in your first leg, the syllabus coverage leg. Now it is very important for you to attend regular classes, right? And if you can come offline, attend the offline classes. Let's say if you have the hybrid mode also, attend the offline classes. Because it is very important that sincerity is not lost during the course of program. It will define the success or failure. If you are sincere enough, if you are attending all the classes, then most likely your first leg will be covered. You will have understanding as well as notes. And let me tell you what are the challenges that are going to come. In the first 20 to 30 days, the Josh is always high, right? But the real test of your consistency will begin after 1 month. And it is true in life for any NDR. You start something, you start with too much passion, too much motivation, but that motivation will dissipate after some point of time. And then your actual, commitment will come out. Even if some days you do not feel like attending classes, just out of procrastination, never give up due to procrastination. Always try to tell your mind to go and attend the class. This thing is also a thumb rule. Attending class is always better than not attending a class. There are a lot of thumb rules in this preparation, right? So in classes, you would be able to make your own handwritten notes, but you will also be given some handouts, right? Then on daily basis, for example, today, let's say 5 topics or 4 topics are covered. Next day, you will get an assignment on that. And you can complete that assignment as a homework and submit it on the following day, right? So daily assignment doing is very, very important task for the revision lack. It is also for practice lack, but more than practice, it is a revision program, right? If you are doing all the assignments, you will have to go through your notes again. If you are going through notes again, then you are automatically revising, right? So it is very important that you will be overwhelmed in the beginning, because it is like if you are writing 4 to 5 questions per day, in the beginning it is going to be a tough task. But I must say that you must endure this difficulty for at least 20 to 30 days. And after that, you would be able to build a habit out of it, right? And on some day, let's say you do not want to write all 5 questions. So just tell your mind to write 2. And after a few hours, 2 more, right? So that's how you break it out. But never give up on that. People who are writing their assignment sincerely will have more learning outcome than people who are not writing their assignments, right? The third is that you will have MGP test, and these MGP tests will be weekly basis, mostly scheduled on Sundays. So this is a tailor-made MGP. It means whatever the coverage will happen in the previous week, you will have a half-length test based on that on Sunday. Now again, it is a difficult task. Let me tell you what happens is that people think that, okay, attending class and making notes is enough. It is not enough. You will have to write assignment also, and our expectation from you is to write the test also. So every Sunday there is going to be a test, and you should attempt it even if you are not feeling prepared. Because the thumb rule is giving test is always better than leaving it. Because even if you are not prepared, what will happen? You will face some hiccups during writing, then at least you will go and revise that thing. Or you can make some short notes out of those themes. If you are giving enough time for feedback, then even if you are not prepared, you will gain a lot more than someone who has not actually attempted the test itself, right? Now, fourth thing is you will have dedicated mentorship support. Now, this thing is very important for the feedback part. An exercise many people used to follow who have got very good result in mains examination is that they used to keep a small diary with themselves. And every test they are writing, before writing the next test, they figure out 2 to 3 improvements that they need to do in the next test. And they explicitly write that in the diary, right? What can be the improvement? Improvement can be that, okay, I'll write more legible answers in the next test. I'll include flowchart in at least 2 questions, right? And I will like to shorten my length of conclusion. So these are tangible things. So you should try to follow such kind of practice that whenever you are writing next test, you must have some agenda of improvement. And here, mentorship can play a very important role. If you're not able to figure out that by yourself, you should take help or take review of mentor also, right? So basically, these are the parts of GSAP program. And many people also have taken this ethics or the current affair, right? These are the additional things that some of you might also have taken. For people, let's say those who have taken current affair classes, what I would like to suggest is make an habit of going through your register at least once a day for current affairs. Because what will happen over the period of time, you need to have a mental clarity. Like 1 month back, we had a class on one nation, one election before the mains examination, right? And when I saw this GS2 paper, there was question on one nation, one election. Very important thing about no, it's fine, it's fine. Let's say one nation, one election, right? So the question was in context of high level committee report, right? So that was explicitly explained in the class. Let's say this topic is covered through your classes and it is sitting in your notes. What will happen through daily revision is whatever headings that are there, like high level committee recommendations, elections, then this ONOE definition, argument for, against, some committee recommendations, and way forward. And one topic that can be added is electoral reforms. Right? So let's say you are covering this ONOE and these many themes are there. If you will revise your notes on daily basis, you will have a mental clarity for all these themes in your mind. And that is what is required to actually write a good answer. If you have a complete clarity of the structure of the content that is written in your copy, that okay, inclusive growth was the topic, but in my notes, components were also discussed. In my notes, that report data was there. And when we talked about the challenges for inclusive growth, okay, this argument was supported by this data. This will only happen when you will continuously revise things. And in revision, do not make mistakes of giving too much time into revision. Because if you will do detailed revision every time, you won't be able to ever complete your revision. So in revision also, there is a golden rule. Frequency of revision is more important than the detailed nature of revision. It means your success will depend on how many times you are able to revise. Let's say you have given full day to revision of ONOE, but after 10 days you will forget. But if you have given 10 minutes for 5-7 days, going through one theme every day, and every next day going through previous theme also, on the 10th day, you will remember a lot more than what you have remembered in the previous case. Right? So this is also about the revision part. Now, and for people who have taken the ethics class also, what I would like to tell is have command over the notes that you are going to make in the classes. Natasha Goyal, I think rank 175 last year. She was the ethics student and I have seen her notes. Whatever value addition she was doing, she has done on notes only, but she has complete clarity and command over her notes. which she made in the classes, and she did not went for any other resource. So sometimes what is our temptation? Okay, let's cover from here also and there also. And then we will make a ideal resource, which will have everything. This is a very ideal scenario. Another golden rule, idealism is an enemy to UPSC's preparation. Whenever your mind is going into ideal zone, always pull it back. Always remain very practical in this examination. Very practical with respect to everything that you are doing. Idealism wale zone mein, you do not need to go anywhere. You must have command over what are the notes that you are getting, rather than having command over this notes also and plus 2 books also. Not required, because this is practically possible, not possible at all. Right? And okay, so this basically sums up why GSAP, and basically why GSAP is whatever challenges that we have discussed. GSAP is going to help any aspirant in that preparation. But there is one more case. One more case is of people who have actually given multiple mains, like they have given 3-4 mains. And now the problem with them is that their notes has become little bit outdated. And since they have been writing mains every year, they, first of all, doing classes, they would be able to revise or do some good value addition in their current notes. And second, they would be able to actually enhance their effort in the mains preparation. Because when we are in the same cycle, our effort or strategy also remains similar. It doesn't change too much. So for this case also, how GSAP can help any aspirant. Now about this, how can you prepare best for mains? So we have been discussing this. But if you want to take my last suggestion, it is the sincerity. Ultimately, everything will boil down to the level of sincerity that you will show during the course of program. If you are sincere, you would be able to take benefit out of it. And you would be able to improve your performance in the mains exam. And people who have not written mains exam, they would be much, much confident when they are going to clear prelims. Right? This year, there were many questions that came directly from the previous year notes. I have just outlined 2-3 questions, but there are a lot of questions like this. So, any questions? Your classes will start. They are slated to start from which date? 24th, right? So classes will start from 24th, and you will get the detailed schedule on your mail in a day or two. Your classes will begin with polity as a subject, right? So first polity shall be covered, and every day you are going to have 4 hours of classes. The timings will remain 4 to 8. So like 4 to 6 one class, then brief break, and then 2 hours of classes. And after polity, we are going to focus on eco and then governance. So like that, we are going to cover syllabus. You will get the schedule on mail, right? So hope to see you all on the 24th. So the mail that you will get, you will also have a contact number of GSAP coordinator, sir. He will be Mr. Lavkush. So whenever you have any kind of challenge with anything, you can discuss or tell Mr. Lavkush about it, like any kind. And for people who are in the online mode, the classes will be shown in the portal. So you will have to log in the portal through your registered number. Then you go to My Courses. Then in that you will see GSAP classes tab, right? So that is how things are going to be done. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Look, there were multiple variants. So Ethic Plus is a separate variant, those people who have opted for Ethics Plus will get Ethics Plus classes. Right? This covers basic GS 1, 2, 3, the basic variant of GSAT. Yes, they will be on the separate timings. You will receive. Ethics classes will happen from 11 to 1, 4 days a week. Right? Ethics class. Ethics class are starting from 21. That is tomorrow. Monday to Thursday. Regular classes. Monday to Thursday, every week. Actually, you need to get in touch with the admission team regarding that. And yes, this course must be available on the hybrid mode also. Right? Yes, definitely. This course must be available, and you can reach out to the admission team in the Karol Bagh building. Mr. Lavkush will tell you about that outside. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.